Three, two, one. Pop.
Bop.
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 I'll line it somehow. Welcome back to Jammed, the only podcast to be situated in this amazing digital cafe. They serve a lot of awesome food here, I guess. This bit is going on longer than I wanted it to, so we're gonna hand it over to John John.
What, you're not currently sipping on a nice milk tea with boba, crunching on fried chicken, listening to the
And-
manager yell at you.
You're getting
some,
into
like,
too many
brioche
memory present memories.
So you only bought a coffee. You've been in here for 5 hours.
There's a customer asking you for soy sauce.
There are 4 chairs at this table, but you're not letting anyone take it.
Oh man, I hated those people.
All right, back to
yeah.
it. So, okay, so we were actually talking about this before we started recording, but Bleach essentially is making a comeback in a way.
I think it's, from what you guys said, it was a completion of what they've already started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
It's
manga's
the end of manga.
done. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's the end of the manga. The last arc.
Wait, no, actually, no, the manga's not even done.
Yeah, the
Manga's
manga's done. Manga's well done.
Except the author released a new chapter, like, where the kids, it's like featuring the kids.
No.
Some, like, random new enemy attacks.
Okay, yeah, no.
We don't consider Boruto part of Naruto.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's the thing. It's still featuring, it's still, like, within the same, like, timeline.
Oh.
You know, the epilogue? It's not, like, 10 years after the epilogue. It's literally, like, right after the epilogue of the manga. And then,
Yeah.
What's his name? Ichigo gets his, like, heart punched out by a new enemy or something? I don't know.
Let's just
Someone
call this
needs some
Bleach
money.
2. That's all.
Wait, and they have kids like right after the ending of the first manga?
Yeah,
Epilogue.
like, they show the kids a little bit.
Like,
It's-
where are they now?
Oh, okay, so it's not in like an Umbrella Academy situation where they all have babies at the same time and it takes like a minute for them to give birth.
Oh, no, not
All
like
right.
that, no.
Boom, babies.
But yeah, so 1,000-Year Blood War, which is basically... this is when we discover that Ichigo's also another part of something. Like, he's what? Before this point, he was part Shinigami,
Shinigami.
part Hollow,
Part human.
part human.
And then he could like
And-
hybridize all of those things together.
Yeah, he hybridized all that with the Vizard and then full bring shit. Why do I remember this?
And then now in this new one, spoilers for anyone else, he's part Quincy.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Where did that come from? What part of him is
His
Quincy?
mom, I think?
They never
Wait.
talk about the mom. Background. And then it gets revealed late in the manga that his mom was part of the Quincy's.
No, they don't need to do that.
Like, at some point, they quite literally turned him into the biggest Mary Sue possible.
I mean, he was destined to be the godchild.
Okay, look. Can we all agree that the mangaka and Shonen Jump did not have a good relationship, which is why the quality of everything went downhill?
I
pretty
did not know
quickly?
that. Explain.
So, pretty much the mangaka and Shonen Jump had a lot of conflicting ideas because, like, the mangaka wanted to end the manga, and Shonen Jump wanted him to keep on pumping stuff out.
Yeah, of course, 'cause it
And-
makes money.
Yeah, it was one of the big 3. Even though we rag on it now, like in high school, when we were all in high school, like One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach were the 3 biggest animes. And now Naruto and Bleach ended, and One Piece is supposed to end in the next couple of years. They Shonen Jump kept on wanting to make money, but honestly, like the mangaka, what he wanted to do was not really create like a super big spanning manga. Like he just really wanted to draw cool things.
Yeah, like,
So like his drawings are still like, they're really cool to look at, but like he didn't want to make this epic story, and then like they kept on making him push more and more stuff and do more stuff, and then like because he didn't really like that, the quality of everything went just sort of down. Like Soul Society art is what I think we can all consider like probably the best art.
that should have ended there. Like, as soon as they all get back home, just Done.
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't know the names of the arc. Is that the chair
That's like
Aizen?
the first arc.
Okay.
The second, yeah, well,
First
the
or second
second arc.
Got
The
it.
first arc is when he gets the Shinigami powers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the second is when he's like, he has to save Rukia from the Soul Society.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the third one, he has to fight Aizen, who ended up being bad. Spoiler alert. From like 20 years ago.
mean,
and like,
If you don't know Aizen's bad, then you're living under a rock.
yeah, it's sort of like if you talk about the Final Fantasy VII Eris death, like, and someone gets angry at you, you're like, hey, come on, there has to be like a statute of limitation on this kind of
A
shit.
statute
you know?
of limitation. Wait, okay, so slight side. How long before something becomes free reign? Like you can make jokes about it, you can talk about it without fear of spoiling it for someone. How long? How many years?
I think that really does depend on a case by case.
Yeah.
I do think if it's over like 100 years, I think you're allowed to talk about it. But if it's like, you know, let's say like, big topic. Okay, if we talk about slavery, like, we can't really joke about that in some ways.
I
So,
think
like-
Derek meant more like in terms of like shows,
Like
and
movies and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, talking about spoilers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if
I
we
mean,
want
you
to talk
can't
about disasters, if we want to talk about
Hey,
disasters
Alex.
and stuff.
Spoiler: slavery is over.
Oh, good sir.
In
Oh, there are so
certain
many
parts,
people that
yeah.
want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, that applies to certain parts of the world, which we thankfully live in one, and then a lot of people still have commentary about it.
Yeah.
For
But
movies and
back
stuff,
to
I think
movies and stuff. Yeah.
if it okay, and is it a popular cultural like art piece?
Sure. Let's say. Well, I don't know.
Stranger
What-
Things.
What?
Season 1 of Stranger Things.
Yeah, there we go.
How long has that
Okay.
been? Has that been
6 years.
6 years.
Jesus.
6 years.
Jesus. Oh God, we're old.
It's like yeah, I think like 5 years you're getting to that area where it's sort of like you don't know at this point, like you're not raising an eyebrow. I think 10 years is completely fine. Like you're off, like if you don't know, that's your own fault at this point. Like you're not a fan of
I
what we're
completely
talking about.
agree.
Because by that point, like, you know, other games have been made. Like, Final Fantasy 8 through 16's coming out soon. If you don't know the storyline of FF7 at this point,
Yeah.
and which is one of the biggest cultural games ever, like, you're not a fan of the series, I guess? Like,
Yeah.
at a certain point?
I think it's
Here's-
also
oh,
when
go ahead.
things like parodies start being made of things, then you could just start like spoiling things, because it's at that point when parodies are being made of something old, then you should know what's old. Like Kill la Kill, that anime.
Ah.
Everything in that is a parody
Yeah.
and references so many other things. Another one is like Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann was a parody as well. So
Oh,
it's just
so
like,
good though.
oh, those two animes were so good because they parodied it so well.
Here's
I mean-
my take. I want to
Yeah.
say a month after the show or movie has hit streaming platforms, because nowadays everything's being streamed. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, it'll eventually make its way to some kind of streaming platform or be available for worldwide viewing. And I say a month because at that point, the 4 weeks has been available gives you enough time to either go view it on your own or through multiple other semi-legal applications.
Semi-legal. But wouldn't you say a month is still a little bit short?
I would say a month is short just because, like, you know, like, for example, everyone here, most of the time we don't have time to watch shows.
Oh,
Ain't
guaranteed.
nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for
like
that.
if Stranger Things season 4 came out, the last half, like season 4, and I still didn't even watch season 3 yet. So like, if I feel like on streaming platforms, because of the ease of it, it's just sort of like, all right, like
It's going to be there.
it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
But if it's like a movie like Infinity War, maybe 3 months.
Well, so the reason I say a month after it hits streaming platforms, because by the moment it hits streaming platforms, that's when it becomes available for people to clip and essentially rip high quality footage of it. So
Okay.
the only way you're going to avoid spoilers of anything major, like let's say Infinity War, is to quite literally stay off social media and like dumb yourself to online news, which nowadays is almost impossible. Like everybody uses online platforms for work, or you need some kind of. Most of us get our information and news through the internet. At the point,
I'm going to.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I'm going to agree with you on that, but I can't say that from personal experience because, like, I do generally like the subreddits am subscribed to aren't like culturally movie based, and like, I don't really use a lot of social media, but because you're in the social media landscape, I'm going to agree with you on that. Like, I guess it's really hard to avoid spoilers if you're going on the regular social media sites.
Yeah, like I think within 5-10 minutes of the Attack on Titan finale being aired, there was already people posting clips on it on Twitter, and I was like, all right, so if I were a fan of this show, which I'm not, but if I were, I could have just had this whole show spoiled for me because they were posting some huge moments in there, which I knew from the manga. And I was just reading and going like, all right, so if I was completely fresh at this and I just happened to sign on to Twitter, which, personally speaking, if you are a fan of anything, don't sign on to social media the day something major releases. At that very moment, it's all spoiled for me. And that's why I say like a month afterwards, because at that point, it's already been kind of like driven to the ground.
I feel like I agree with you, and like with that logic, a month does seem like a fair amount of time. I have to say, your Twitter is my YouTube. The only reason I know a certain episode of The Boys comes out, or if a new movie came out, is when people start posting clips on YouTube. I basically watched all of The Boys in 10-minute increments on YouTube.
Oh, yep.
All of the major fights, the betrayals, the clip worthiness of it all.
Dude, season 3 was so good.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, we just finished it on Friday, and oh my god, it's a trip. Okay, John. So I'm gonna say it with this. I know that we asked that general question about when it's okay to spoil stuff. I do believe that this is gonna have different answers for every person.
Definitely.
So you're gonna say a month?
Yeah, I'll say a month. How about you?
What about you personally?
Oh, me personally?
Yeah. How long would you try to avoid telling people spoilers? Or make references to it?
I do my absolute best to avoid spoilers within a year. Like, I try not to... If anything releases, I usually try and give it a year before I, like, go around and try...
That's really
The thing is,
fair.
I don't really like discussing spoilers, because I'm usually like, look, I'd rather you experience it for yourself. That's just me personally.
Same. I generally just ask people, hey, have you seen this movie? Okay, let's talk about it. That's just... It kind of, like, makes it a little easier. Unless it's things that are, like, 10 years old. Like, if you haven't seen Fight Club now, too bad. I'm going to be referencing that. Stuff like that. But if it's more recent stuff, then I just ask, have you seen it? Like, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm not going to spoil that for people, but it's an amazing movie. You gotta go see it.
Dude, I've been
that's
hearing
pretty much
that
my response too.
from everyone. That movie is so good, apparently.
Just watch it. It's
Oh,
so
you
good.
haven't watched it? You need to. Like,
I need to.
Oh, you both need to.
I need to. I'm the film guy here, and I need to watch it.
Even if I try to explain it to you, I can't. You need
It's not
to
gonna
see
do it justice.
Yes.
It's not gonna do
Yeah.
it justice.
Isn't
Yeah.
it like, was it Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, except not as mad and less Doctor Strange?
Okay, not as mad. It's more mad. Multiverse of Madness was shitty.
Yeah,
Dude.
no. You just need to go watch it because it is just amazing. And it's one of those movies I personally would not like to spoil for anyone.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
like, there's movies that you want to spoil because it's just a crap movie. Some movies are just so
Like M. Night
good.
Shyamalan.
Oh, on that note, John, did you go watch Moonfall yet?
I'm not going to. I saw the trailer. I just like
No, you gotta
it
watch it.
killed. I watched the trailer. I was like, I don't have the desire to go and watch this. I don't have the desire to go hunt it down. Because I can already tell I'm just gonna be like in a corner, just like slamming my head against the wall.
Christy watched it, and she said it was an amazingly horrible movie. I
Yeah.
am very curious, and I also want someone else's opinion as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are those movies, like you said, are like cringe or just like joke movies. I feel like those movies, I don't mind spoiling because it's just gonna be a joke the entire time. It's not a serious or like a great movie. Like
Yeah.
great movies, I feel like if no one's watched The Prestige, I would not like tell them what the ending is, stuff like that. Like great movies, I feel I would say if you haven't seen it, you just go watch it. Or
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
bring over the DVD, or we find it on stream somewhere and we watch it together because I want to see your reaction. Because I'm jealous that you're getting to watch it again for the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think this kind of piggybacks off what Alex was talking about earlier, albeit it's about what Alex was talking about was real life political situations. But I would feel like it comes down to a case by case for movies. If it's something that has that key turning point in the movie, then you don't ever really want to spoil that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's the entire point of that movie. So if it's something like that, I would probably never talk about it unless somebody is really adamant about not going to go watch it and doesn't care whatsoever. Because honestly, that turning point is what makes that movie.
I will say that I always try to avoid spoilers, telling that to people. Mainly because, like, even though a movie may not mean, like, a lot to me, per se, like, I'm not sure if that person watches that movie, if it would actually matter to them. So, like,
Right.
I wouldn't, like, it's sort of like the, Snape kills Dumbledore spoiler, right?
Oh my
like,
god.
How dare you!
Right? Sorry. But, like, yeah, like, to me, Harry Potter doesn't mean as much as the people that, buy wands, buy robes, and eat all the chocolate frogs when they go to, like, Universal Studios. But, like,
My wife.
I know.
That's gonna be me and Christy when we go to. No shame.
It's like, so it doesn't mean a lot to me. But then, like, if another person's really liking it, like, they don't even have to be fans, but if they're like, yeah, I want to know where this goes, I'll be like, alright, you enjoy book, 6? And, it's like, I don't know, I think no matter what, even if it's, like, a stupid movie, like a horror movie, and, like, okay, like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, if I watched it because I was forced to against my own free will, and, like, I know the spoiler because they all have a twist, then I don't know. Like, if someone else is like, oh, hey, how's this movie? I'll be like, it's not that great. And then, like, I'm really tempted to spoil it, but, like, I don't think I would ever really willingly be like, I would always ask them, are you going to watch it? And then, like, if they say no, then I'll be like, all right, let me tell you about, like, this.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just blurt it out unless I knew everyone I'm with
Already seen it.
already watched it, which I realize on a podcast doesn't really work.
No, of course not. There's going to be spoilers of things that we're going to say that some people don't know that Snape Dumbledore
No.
interaction.
Dumbledore.
So,
The way you put that sounds like they boned.
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
implications.
they
Who
probably
knows?
did at one point of their lives.
Dude, okay, Dumbledore lived a very, very long life. And I'm assuming a very full life.
A very
So,
colorful
like,
life.
maybe he actually did. And I'll also say, we don't know what the killing curse does to suck the soul out of the body. What if it's the most orgasmic experience ever? We don't know.
Excuse me? I came back to orgasmic feeling. What?
Wow,
Fan
you totally
fictions.
blanked out right there. Just like,
I was like thinking, who did Dumbledore like have a relationship? That infamous like super bad guy character in Harry Potter.
The Grimes of Grindelwald.
The Grimes of Grindelwald.
oh god.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, Grindelwald, and I came back to orgasmic feelings, and I was like, oh, okay. What?
Oh, is that how you feel when you see him?
Never saw him. Never watched the movie where he was introduced. So,
Oh,
what was that
It's just-
like? Fantastic Beasts, or was it something
I
else?
mean, No, it's Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. That's when he first shows up, and he ends up being Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's just Johnny Depp. So
Yeah.
He's just Johnny Depp.
And then in the third movie, Johnny Depp got replaced due to Amber Heard situation with the bad guy from Casino Royale and Hannibal in his TV show.
Mads Mikkelsen.
That guy.
With
I
the guy
mean,
with
to be
one eye.
honest,
Wait, what?
The one eye in Casino Royale,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, the guy with one eye.
I personally think that would have been the better actor from the beginning, because he just plays a villain. Just mwah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I will never be able to separate Johnny Depp from Captain Jack Sparrow now.
Nope.
I mean, that's his legacy now. To be
Yeah,
honest,
Yeah.
if you told me he's Grindelwald, I just imagine Grindelwald like stumbling out of an entranceway, going, "Oh, where's my ale?"
Rum, good sir. Get your story facts
Oh,
straight.
you have heard of me, dude.
Where's my butterbeer?
though I definitely think that the other thing that I remember Johnny Depp as is definitely Edward Scissorhands.
Scissorhands, yeah.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands. I do remember him from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
He was
I do not
What?
remember that.
He's in a movie. Gilbert Grape is a movie with him and like Leonardo DiCaprio when he was a kid.
I don't think I've ever watched this movie.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually a pretty good movie.
and then my wife will always remember him in Crybaby.
Baby.
Oh
God.
God!
Oh, you know, another actor who I'll never be able to separate now is Anthony Starr. Whenever I
Anthony
see
Starr.
him, I'll
Yeah,
always see a
Homelander.
Homelander.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Same with Joffrey.
Oh yeah.
To be
poor
fair, Joffrey quit acting.
Yeah, because no one could separate him.
for good reason. For good reason.
God, I feel so sorry for that kid because he's an amazing actor and he quite literally quit acting because people were gaslighting the shit out of him.
Dude, oh, that reminds me of Anakin Skywalker, the kid.
Oh my god, I felt so.
Wait, isn't he the guy? Jamie Olsen? No. God.
Who?
Isn't like the young baby Anakin the same voice as Sora from Kingdom Hearts?
Hold up, looking it up. Jake Lloyd?
No.
Anakin Skywalker actor.
Who played Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah, Jake Lloyd.
No, not the older adult Anakin.
Right. Yes, Jake Lloyd.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting everything mixed up. I
Good
think
try
it's
though. Good try.
It was the kid from The Sixth Sense.
You're kidding me. The kid from The Sixth Sense is Sora.
Look it up. I'm pretty
Kid
sure.
from Sixth Sense.
Goofy, I see
Haley
dead
Joel
people.
Osment.
Yeah, look him up in Haley Joel Osment Kingdom Hearts.
Oh no. Oh, you're not lying.
I mean,
Right.
Sora does see things that other people can't see.
Goofy, Donald, I see dead people.
That.
Heartless, Sora.
Whoa.
They're called heartless.
Like Haley Joel Osment actually did a lot of voice acting.
Whoa, my mind is blown.
I mean, to be honest, voice actors, you never know.
Yeah.
Voice actors have done so much.
Like do you know the voice of Kim Possible and the girl from Even Stevens?
I've never seen Even Stevens, so, but yes,
Chrissy Carlson Romano. She's also the voice of Yuffie in Kingdom Hearts.
You know what? That tracks.
I mean, there's
For
also
some reason that fits.
from Boy Meets World, Will Friedle is Ron Stoppable.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
That works. It's something I found out because of work is Lucius Malfoy
Yeah.
voices Billy Butcher in the Diabolical, which is the animated version of the boys.
Oh. That's
Really?
fun.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just get Billy? Why didn't he just get God, I forgot his name.
Diabolical was supposed to be closer to the comics, and they wanted to get like as close as they could to different accents. So,
Oh, okay.
what's his name? The guy who's in Shaun of the Dead.
Sean Penn?
Is it Sean Penn?
Like,
on.
is it? Peter Sean?
Shaun of the Dead actor. Simon Pegg. Simon
Simon Pegg, yeah.
Voices The normal guy of the boys. I don't remember his name.
Huey.
Huey, yeah. Because originally Simon Pegg, Huey was supposed to be based on Simon Pegg, but they'd already he had conflicts during scheduling, so they couldn't get him. So for the animated version for Diabolical, they pulled in Simon Pegg for the voice actor as a homage to that.
Homage.
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 I can never pronounce that right. Homage.
I mean, you said the British way.
Homage.
Sort of like salmon or salmon.
Yeah.
Salmon. It's obviously a pocket monster, dude.
Saruman!
I think there is a Salmon. I think there is actually a Salmon Pokemon.
No.
There probably is. Do you want me to look it up that too? Salmon.
No.
Pokemon.
Oh, not Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Digimon. That's what it is.
Digimon.
Salmon Digivolve
Oh,
2?
never mind. There's Salamon.
That
was close enough.
Basculesian could be a salmon. Unknown.
Isn't that just a bass?
I don't know. Pokemon got weird.
I mean,
Pokemon got weird.
Pokemon fucking, they're the trash bag Pokemon.
talking about
You
remakes.
catch trash.
There's
like
an
in
ice cream
general.
Pokemon.
Pokemon
Sorry, what is
it?
does
Yeah.
like the most remakes. Like we started this episode of remakes. Pokemon is like remaking things constantly. Anything that I feel like has ever had a card game associated with it, just constantly remakes. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Look, come on. Pokemon, the main series title, they only made 3 games. Alright? Pokemon Gen 1, and Arceus, and now Violet Scarlet. So, because they didn't change the formula for, how many generations?
But they added hundreds of new Pokemon.
The thing about
Only-
Arceus was a playtest for Pokemon Scarlet, and they
Yeah.
sold it as a full game.
So
You could
they all
tell. You could tell that it's not even a full game.
They sold it as a full game.
I know, but every trailer I've seen. I mean, to be fair, I've never played the game, and people say it is fun, parts of it. But the trailers and everything I've seen, it looks kind of barren. I don't know, not fully fleshed
is.
out.
It's I want to say it's fun because it's so different from what the traditional Pokemon game is. And I think for a lot of people that was essentially refreshing because we're so used to the whole go out, battle wild Pokemon, catch wild Pokemon, go battle trainers, go battle gym leaders, go battle Elite Four. It's such a standard formula. But then we were like, oh, thank fucking God. The Pokemon company finally decided to try experimenting, even if it was several generations behind the rest of the gaming industry. And I think the reason people are so positive towards it is we're literally just happy that Pokemon is doing something different.
Or people were so happy for
low.
so long that it was consistent. We knew what we're getting into. Some form of stability in our lives was Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, if you with Pokemon, even its core gameplay is not that good. Hot take. Because here's the thing: if you can play a game over and over again and have fun, that's chess. Okay, that's like checkers. You're down to play the exact same game over and over again. That must mean that the core gameplay has to be fun. The core gameplay of a majority of Pokemon games, 80% of them, is not fun. It was fun when we were kids, and you have rock, paper, scissors, and I can only pick one of these 4, but it's still not fun 20 years later.
I feel like that depends on the people. I mean, we all know my wife is literally played every single Pokemon game to exist and will continue to play every Pokemon game to exist. I asked her why she likes it so much, and she says it's because it's her childhood. And she also used to play competitive Pokemon. So for her, I guess it's that whole
Nostalgia bit.
It's the nostalgia and there is a strategic element to it, figuring out what will work best with a limited team. The only way I can enjoy Pokemon is if I am on a challenge like Nuzlocke or some other modifier. But I get why people like it because it's a very steady game that, in all honesty, it kind of feels a bit like a pseudo gacha game. You go out, you try and catch Pokemon, you hope to encounter a rare Pokemon, and you hope that you can catch it without killing it. And then from there, you get to show off that rare Pokemon, make it grow with it, and then use your brand new, extremely powerful friend to curb stomp other people.
It's basically a looter RPG.
Yeah, pretty much.
Walking looter RPG. You just walk, you gain treasures, and you upgrade those treasures. Treasures being Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the core gameplay is not fun.
I mean, we also have to remember these games aren't always catered to us now. They didn't evolve with their first fan base. They're trying to get new fan base with the same game, essentially, with each rendition until the newer versions came out.
See, yes, but it's like these other kids who they're trying to get into their fan base, like they're also playing more interesting and more engaging games than Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
So like
Tunic.
they need, like Tunic. Like they need to upgrade or change their gaming style so that it's not just like, anyone can get into it, but anyone that can get into it with the bells and whistles and mechanics that the new games have, excluding monetization. So like,
Please, excluding monetization. Please, they're already starting to do DLC. Please, for the love of God, excluding monetization.
like pay $5 for 500 Pokeballs. It's like, it's like, even though it's constant and safe, like even the most famous popular Pokemon nowadays are just rehashes or reskins of the old cool Pokemon. Which means that no one cares about the newer shit, and like, you have to give us a reason to care. They're still catering to us because, oh, look at this blue Charizard, that's awesome. Or Fat Pikachu's back in Dynamax. It's like, they are still catering to us, but they're not catering their video games to us. They're still catering video games to people 20 years ago.
Right, but what you have to remember is who's behind the creation of Pokemon. Behind Pokemon is the Pokemon Company, a fully Japanese-based company. Japanese game development, or Japanese business in general, likes to play super, super safe. If something works and they know that it will work, they know that they will sell lots and lots of units if they do the exact same thing as last time, they'll keep doing it. Which is why we were so surprised that things were going well, because the only real innovators that we've seen are possibly people like Kojima and Pseudo51, and those people are just like, I'm gonna take a random concept from my brain and run with it, and I don't care if you like it or not.
Yeah, I agree with that, and just to add on to that, also two separate points. First point, I'm just gonna make really quick. Gengar is the best Pokemon. I think we can all agree here. Second point being, piggybacking off what you said, John, I think a part of the reason why they play so safe and they kept with this formula and they never changed it up is partly because there's no competition in that area. Can you guys think of another Pokemon like going around capturing little monsters so you can train them and become awesome, big, fighting weapons? Could you guys think of another game like it that's mainstream, popular, and can actually be a competitor to Pokemon?
Pocket Mortys.
I mean,
Pocket Mortys. Which is just a spin-off of Pokemon.
I mean, technically Digimon was supposed to be that, but it never got off its training.
They weren't
wheels,
cute
I feel.
enough.
I
Weren't cute
feel,
enough.
I
go
feel
ahead.
like Digimon was slightly more complicated than Pokemon too, just based on its evolution features. Like, remember when I was a kid and I had a Digimon game for the PlayStation? The thing I wanted to do was upgrade my Garurumon or whatever to the next level, which looks cooler, right? But no matter what Digimon I chose, it depends on how you raise it and what you give it and how it feels. And apparently, as a kid, I didn't understand any of that because they all turned out to be this pink poo monster.
No, it's
No matter
pink
what
dots
I
with
did.
green body.
Yeah, no matter what I did, it turned into a stupid little poop monster. And I think that's part of it. Pokemon was really simple, intuitive. It doesn't have multiple branching evolutions based on how you treat it. It's always just linear. It's simple. People don't have to wrap their minds around it, especially kids. And nobody did that better than Pokemon.
Here's how I see it. Pokemon is your Creature of the Week series. It's the one where you go around, you have the main character with his like standard Pokemon that switch out every now and then, and they go around meeting new Pokemon every episode. Digimon is focused more on growing with your creature because they can digivolve back and forth and they digivolve into different forms. It's about growing with your partner and building this like complex relationship that you get involved in as the viewer because it all revolves around the same main characters all the time. In Pokemon, the main character is constantly changing. Sometimes, yes, Ash and Pikachu are there, but in reality, we're all more focused on the really cool Charizard that's the star of the episode, or that Jigglypuff that won't stop singing, or Team Rocket's new Wobbuffet.
Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched Pokemon, guys.
Wait.
Dude.
Wait, what are the spoilers?
That came out in 1999.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I remember all of these episodes from a kid, but okay, yeah, fine. Fair enough, spoilers. But that's not how I see it because Digimon, I'm not going to remember any of the characters' names because they all end with Mon. But you watch as Agumon digivolves into this, then this, then this. And you're like, oh shit, if he gets treated badly, he digivolves to this. Oh shit, if an Agumon gets corrupted with this, he digivolves to this. It's all focused on trying to grow with that partner.
Yeah, I agree. And in that regards, I believe Digimon actually had stronger storylines.
Oh yeah. We are so tired of Ash. Can please Ash just retire?
Yeah.
He
Also,
can't.
another thing. Why does Ash keep forgetting all the life lessons he's learned in the previous season?
Why does Pikachu always go back to level 1 at
Seriously?
the end of each season?
Why is he still 10 years old?
Why?
So many questions.
Okay, can we be real? Pikachu has defeated legendary Pokemon and loses to like the starter of every new generation.
Yeah, he just uses Thunderbolt. And then like he wins. Thunderbolt's not even an attack, it's not a damage attack. He just stuns them.
Oh shit, you're right. I forgot. Wait, does it? Hold on.
No, that's Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave.
Oh, no, you're right.
Thunderbolt
You're right.
does damage.
You're right.
A true connoisseur of Pokemon.
Man, I played so much Pokemon when I was a kid. These days, I can't do it anymore. But yeah.
Oh, it's too long.
It's kind of mind-numbing.
Especially
Wait.
because like it just ruins like there's a point in game theory where it's like if you have one way of guaranteed winning, you're going to do it, right? So like in Pokemon, you can literally just raise your first Pokemon to max level and beat the game. So it's not fun.
Well, see, that's why I'm saying, like, for me, I have to do modifiers. I have to, like, impose a level limit on myself, or I have to play Nuzlocke. And to be fair, I think that's why it has such a huge fan base, because the older people who've played Pokemon as a kid are now going back and saying, all right, let me try Pokemon Nuzlocke. There's a new mod for Green where it literally optimizes all of the enemy Pokemon to the point where you have to be absolutely strategic with how you play it, or else you're going to get smashed. I forget what it's called. It's for Emerald, but because of that, the fan base is quite literally a modding fan base. It's a fan base which is all about how can we take a childhood game and make it more suited to our newer sensibilities where we want a challenge.
But isn't that a fault at the game company then?
It-
Because you're
definitely.
causing the modding community to fix the game for you.
Exactly.
yep.
But let's look at Skyrim. Skyrim is
Ah.
a piece of shit game.
I was gonna say Skyrim. The only reason that game has survived until now and is being repackaged and resold all the freaking time is the modding community. The base
Which-
game people played hundreds of thousands of times over. It's the
Which
modding
every time
community.
they repackage it, they're shooting themselves in the foot because they're cutting off the modding community. The modding community has to make like new mods for every new iteration.
Okay, but
But
that's
the
not
fact is
exactly
that-
smart.
People will constantly. There'll be people who will do that.
Yeah. So that's what I think is the draw of Pokemon. It's basically a game where people are unofficially modding the hell out of it.
Yeah. A quick thing. I'm going to be right back, but please continue your conversation. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Have you heard of Pokemon with guns?
I mean, are you just killing Pokemon legitimately
No.
at that point?
Well, kind of, but there's a game called Pal World, which debuted a trailer back in 2021, but then they released a new trailer during, I want to say, February. And yeah, you have Pokemon. It looks like it kind of plays a little bit like Pokemon Arceus, where it's open world and you like travel with the Pokemon. And the Pokemon have AKs and RPGs and rocket launchers.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, that's right.
So-
I know, right?
Yeah, so it's like Pikachu with 2 AKs.
I mean, they're obviously not gonna rip Pikachu right off because the Pokemon company would go.
I know,
after them,
obviously, but
yeah, but so you see like little cute sheep running around with giant RPGs. You see this thing that looks like, I swear, looks like Electabuzz walking around with a fully automated rifle.
and the ones who made this, were they American?
Let me look that up. I think they might not actually be American.
Oh wow. Oh, so they're just pandering to the American fan base.
Pocket Pair Games. Pocket Pair Games. I think they're Japanese.
Yeah, they're just pandering to Americans.
They are very ballsy because I feel like the Pokemon company would go after them.
Hey,
I'm
I'm
back.
not using aimed or assets.
Yeah, no, but come on, it's the Pokemon company. They go after anybody who has the slightest look-like towards Pokemon.
Dude, they gotta protect their IP. Gotta draw
Yeah.
blood if they have to.
And kill their entire fan base if they have to.
Send over Fat Pikachu to teach that one little nerd a lesson.
Yeah, that's
You're in
accurate.
the wrong neighborhood.
Pika Pika.
Can we acknowledge Nintendo's really bad about acknowledging their fan base? Remember the whole
Oh.
Smash fiasco?
Dude, we were talking about this the last episode.
we
we
were.
were kind of talking
We
about how
definitely
Nintendo
were.
was going.
All right, well, that's easy.
Time
But
to
yeah,
go back
no.
and re-watch it.
Yeah. If you guys haven't heard, we had this really nice talk about Nintendo and IPs and how they're handled in the last episode. Please go take a look.
Yep. But yeah, so what started this whole conversation was Bleach coming back. How do we feel about that? Because to me, it just feels like a money grab.
I mean,
It kind of feels like that.
it is, but at the same time, at least they're finishing it off. Like,
Yeah, because the anime didn't technically finish, and while it is a money grab, and
Yeah.
you know they still need to fill space with something. Like they do need to finish off the pump.
yeah.
Why
like,
don't we add another isekai anime?
They
Yes,
did.
come
Oh,
on,
there's
another one.
Solo level's getting anime.
Oh yeah, Solo
Oh,
Level.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
The artwork
Yeah.
is amazing for Solo Level,
yeah.
though. Like, that's one thing that I'm excited about, but at the same time, I'm not sure if they will execute the artwork, animation, like, movement well. Like, when I read it, the manhwa, it was just amazing. Like, the artwork was just great. The scenes, everything. But now they're going to have to translate all that into motion. And I'm just like, will they be able to do it justice?
You know what? I'm willing to bet they're gonna pull a God of High School, where they nail the animation for the action, but the story is so condensed it doesn't matter.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they'll keep everything as is because it is an awesome manhwa.
Manhwa, yeah. I'm willing to bet because God of High School was like humongous. People were like, when it got announced, people were amazing. You're like, great, we can finally see this animated. The animation for all the action is on point for it. But the story was so badly condensed that people lost interest in it immediately. It was like, oh, that's cool. All right, what's next?
Yeah. It's a balance you have to keep.
I mean, I also like the fact that solo leveling actually is not like Bleach or Naruto. Like, dragging on. It actually had an ending.
Wrapped up.
I mean, technically, it's because it was a light novel first.
Yeah.
Dude, have you noticed how there's a lot of Korean manhwas that have solo in the name?
I mean,
Is that a thing?
Yeah, solo leveling, solo max level player, solo something else, solo necromancer. It's lots of solos.
I did not notice that. Also,
Yeah.
manhwa, like the bar of like level for the art for manhwa seems so much higher than regular manga. Does that make sense? Like, no matter what, I've yet to see a really badly drawn manhwa.
also, it's kind of like the style of art as well. Like manhwas, they have, when you look through all the different styles of art of manhwas specifically, I feel like a lot of them are, at least the more intense, serious ones, have more more similar art styles.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, I'm also going to piggyback off what you said, Michael, and say that the stylistic difference between Japanese manga and Korean manhwa, I feel like it lies also in line work. I think Japanese manga focuses more on the line works of every character and the environment. It's clean lines. But Korean manhwas are all about composition of color. I feel like it's a lot more colorful in regards to the character and the settings, even though maybe the line art isn't as clean as Japanese manga. But in a way, I think Japanese manga excels in that, but Korean manga excels in a little bit more colorful, free flow approach. That's why their action scenes seem more flowy and splashy with color, like splashes of color everywhere.
That's a really good point that you bring up, because it like Japanese manga is generally black and white.
Yeah.
Versus manhwa, I think I haven't seen a manhwa that is black and white actually.
Yeah, and also I think it's because of the way it's published. In Japan, everything's going through, a lot of things are going through like those publications, right? Whether it's what was it called? That really popular youth
Shonen Jump.
Yeah, Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
And they all have certain standards for whatever they want to show inside their magazine. But in a lot of Korean manhwas, they kind of start as internet cartoons. So it's not as if there's a real big standard between each internet cartoon. It's all based on what the person creating the manhwa wants it to be. And I think that kind of shows in, I guess, more of a freedom on how to display their art. If you kind of want to see line art as a bit more restricting, then if you get rid of those restrictions, you have a little bit sloppier line art, but you have more freedom with color because you get to just post it online. You don't have to worry about ink. You don't have to worry about printing. So anything really goes.
Yeah.
You know what's also pretty crazy about manhwas compared to mangas is that something that a lot of people may not even consider is the reading format. Like manhwas, you read top to bottom. Like it's all one big page essentially, right?
Yep.
So then you get like when you're viewing it and reading it, and you're either going down the page, like you can get this sense of like height or like depth that you couldn't really get if you're just reading the entire page at one time, left to right. So let's say like someone's falling down and you see this little dot on the manhwa and it's just going down. You just keep scrolling and then you see like the entirety of how far he's actually falling. And when you're reading that, as you're scrolling down, you sort of get this like pressure of how important this is. While if you try to do that like a 1-page or 2-page spread in a like manga, you just sort of get all of it at one time. And you're like, oh, that's cool. But you know, with like going down the page, you're seeing it frame by frame instead of all at once, and it sort of gives you this like, like movie reel type of feeling as you're going down the script. And then I feel like manhwas play into that a lot, using different angles and using the length of the page to their benefit. Well, where like a regular manga, because it's just two rectangles, like you're sort of limited in what you can sort of do.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of free flowy, right? Like
Yeah.
the Korean manhwa is more free flow, not kind of constrained.
there's not like strict borders compared to Japanese manga where it's like panels that they generally do. In their storyboards, generally when they do storyboards, it's all panels. I feel like Korean manhwa is like you've all been kind of like describing, is like just they have one super long page and then they just fill the page.
Yeah, exactly.
There is also a lot of softcore porn. Actually, not even softcore. That's just hardcore porn. Like
Wait,
straight
what?
up.
Wait, where did this
Dude, that's so
Wait,
gross.
huh?
Where's this website? Tell me this gross website.
I
That's
So
all
we
I
never
to.
go there.
No, straight up. Like, so if you browse manga on the internet through whatever reader you use, lately a lot of translators have been translating manhwa that is just straight up porn. Like, admittedly, very long, very in-depth, very well written out plot, but porn.
So we know what John does on his
Is
free time.
is there a blurry censorship law in Korean manhwas?
Yes, I think so.
It's mostly the whole, like, the big glowing dick.
I think sexual illustrations in Korea are more strictly watched over than Japan, which is kind of weird.
Apparently not, because there's a lot of them
What, Korean manhwas?
with sex.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
porn.
Oh, sex. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure what the South Korean law on sexual depictions are, but I've heard they're really, really strict, like more strict than Japanese ones.
I mean,
I
from
could
the few
be
times I was
wrong.
there, I can tell you right now, you can't access a lot of different sites. But for whatever reason, either maybe it's because of that, there is an entire industry of manhwa just dedicated to really in-depth 300 chapter porn stories.
Dude, I don't read manhwas for the porn. I read it for the story.
Yeah, same. Like, to be
There is
honest,
story in there.
like there's one manhwa that I read. They're currently on hiatus for a little bit. Spirit Farmer. Just
That
good.
sounds familiar.
It's just a good old feel good type of manhwa, and there's nothing serious, and there's no sexual depictions, and I think that is something that I enjoy a lot. Just slice of life versus some of the other stuff that is like, oh, okay, this guy now has a harem. Great.
It sounds like a comic version of Stardew Valley.
Kind of. It makes me feel good. That's all that
Actually,
really matters.
maybe that's why Michael likes it, because it is Stardew Valley. But it feels like Japanese manga has like a good gamut of things. I feel like a trope I always see in manhwa is the whole like you're saying, like solo character, like kind of like lone wolf style, becoming strong. And then in China, I don't know the word for Chinese comics.
Oh,
It feels like they're always about like soul cultivation or something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean that is wuxia. Just goes crazy with the cultivation styles and all that kind of stuff, and
Oh,
just it's great. But I'm not sure what their manga is called. Or
it's
what-
very similar to Korean. It's one is manhwa and the other one's manhwa.
Oh, there we go.
Like just
Yeah.
straight up. Okay,
Um,
that's fair.
okay. You brought up a whole thing for me, Michael. I love cultivation
Oh, same.
mangas.
I
and
do too.
I've been reading a lot of Murim.
Oh, you
comics.
have. Oh,
Dude, I don't know if you've heard about these ones, but what was that one called? Return of Mount Hua.
oh yeah, I've
Is
heard of
it-
that one. I haven't read it,
Oh,
but
It's so good. It's so good. You have to read it. If you're a fan of Murim and manhwa, you gotta read that one. It's
yeah. There's
Chef's Kiss.
There's another one called Desolate Era. Is
Oh.
definitely one. It's an oldie, but it's so great. You
I'll have
should
to look
definitely
it
check
up.
that one out. It's one that I finished. I think the thing I love about reading is because there's just so many chapters, and I don't have to wait
Yeah,
for like
they're usually
mangas.
like weekly updates, right?
Oh no, daily sometimes.
Oh jeez.
That's the
Dude.
crazy part about just like any sort of light novels versus manga. You gotta wait a week, sometimes months, because the author is sick. Looking at you, Hunter x Hunter. But
Oh, and Full Metal Alchemist.
oh, just like you have to wait for so long. Versus these light novels that are web novels are online. They just get daily, maybe even twice daily updates, and you get to just like live that, which is, it feels great. Just so much content.
Dude, have you heard of the omniscient reader's viewpoint?
Oh yeah, I already finished that one.
Okay, good. I mean, it's still going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to update long enough so I could kind of catch up again.
Yeah, I see. I also have that problem where I don't like waiting for the new stuff.
Yeah.
Especially on things that I'm kind of getting interested in. And it sucks when you start kind of getting interested in a new series, a brand new series. I think this one actually has a chance to go anime. It's called Gachiakuta. I don't know if you guys heard of that one. It's about
No.
a little kid who can turn memorabilias, like items that people keep for a long time and take very good care of, into these like spirit weapons. But the style and everything looks very good. I guess we'll see where it goes, but I think it has a very good potential to become the next anime or Shonen Jump.
Is that just Shaman King?
I mean, similar in certain ways, but very different. This whole setting is extremely different. I would suggest giving it a go. It only has currently 20 chapters.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you can check it out to see if you like it or not. It's very shonen jumpy. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry
good, Alex?
sorry for going into this, because I know Derek and I we read a lot, so this is not everyone's forte.
Yeah, I haven't yet taken the jump into light novels, but maybe one day. We'll see.
Alex, what's your thoughts process on Trigun Stampede?
Bruh, have you guys watched like hoof restoration videos?
Michael was talking about it one time, and then I started talking about it. Did you get it on your algorithm?
Dude, I'm like, it's starting to pop up on my YouTube, and I'm like fascinated by this.
It is amazing. The Hoof GP. Sorry
Yeah.
for our watchers who we've already gushed about this so much, but the Hoof GP, definitely, it is fascinating, and also just like how much this guy cares. It just makes you feel good. Like someone who cares so much about just another living being's like well-being makes me feel great.
Dude, I did not think, like, of course it makes sense, but I didn't think about it. Like, a hoof is just a really long nail, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it absolutely
Yeah.
is. It's like a
Yeah.
chunk
Yeah.
of nail.
And I was just like staring at it, and like, you know, when he put the because he like this guy was doing a horse, and he put a horseshoe on. I'm like, oh, like this makes so much sense. Like I shouldn't be surprised, but this is fascinating.
They're not actually mutilating the horse.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of nail that they need to trim down.
It's weird. But it's also very satisfying to watch.
Which makes me wonder, how do wild horses deal with it?
They walk around a lot, and the hard ground, rocks and stuff kind of wears off their hoof. Like, you know how a dog, you need to trim their nails if you don't, take them walking
Right.
for miles every day?
But then what's the
with
purpose of
horses.
horseshoes?
So because they do haul a lot of things, it kind of wears down their hoofs too fast. So it's like shoes. Yeah, it's like shoes for them.
Gotcha.
And then for the Hoof GP, he mainly handles cattle. Cattle these days aren't roaming miles and miles for food. They're generally in a small area, so he comes in, trims their hooves because they don't have the wear and tear that they would have if they were wild cattle.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dude, it's such a weird journey to get to hoof GP for me. I started off on dermatology videos.
Oh
then
yeah,
it
like
went
pimple
to-
popping. Oh.
Yeah, Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yep. It started there, and then slowly I went to Mr. Toenail, and then Mr. Toenail. Then I got to the hoof GP somehow. I'm just like, okay, this is my
All
life.
hail the YouTube algorithm.
It does have a tendency of running away with things, doesn't it?
It do, but it can take you to either cursed or blessed videos, so it's always an adventure, I guess.
Yeah, and just like wholesome videos as well. Just like, I'm glad that it took me to the hoof GP because he's very wholesome. If it went to some other people, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
Dude, the YouTube algorithm sucking. Like, one time, someone told me about a documentary about QAnon.
Oh,
So I looked up a clip of it.
Oh no.
And then for about like 2 weeks, it was like, child-eating babies. And I was like, oh my god, what is this?
Welcome
Yeah.
to the fear machine.
yeah. The same thing with me. I did just for fun, Alex Jones, Frog's Gay, and then it took me towards all of his like weird conspiracy stuff. I'm just like, I just wanted people to see how ridiculous this man was talking about how frogs are turning gay. Like,
Yeah.
Dude,
For me, I think I watched one random clip of 40K just because it popped up my feed, looked interesting. And then I spent the next like month just watching nothing but 40K lore videos.
dude, it sucks you in, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh
It's so
my
there's like
God.
such a huge. I'm just like, good lord. I know the game is like spans honestly several generations at this point, but holy crap, there's a lot of lore.
Dude, what got me was their little breakdown. There's this video about a breakdown and a showcase of somebody's 40K tabletop collection. And it filled an entire table with custom terrain made out of styrofoam and stuff, like set pieces. The YouTuber broke it down and said that this table, which isn't exactly a large table, it's like your regular little dinner table,
Right.
$30,000 on that
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like me and Michael are very familiar with that. Like any like D&D models or whatever are a lot more expensive than you expect.
And that's why
30,000.
also the worst part, D&D is actually quite nice because you could 3D print a lot of stuff. Warhammer, they like don't have a really good view on 3D printing their stuff. It's like you have to buy these models. And
Yeah,
I'm just
unless
like,
they're gonna go after you.
exactly. So that's why I personally like D&D better because you could just 3D print everything that you want, and then
yeah.
the only problem is painting everything. But that's just
Here's a random trivia. I don't know if you guys know about this one. Did you know the original StarCraft was supposed to be a Warhammer 40K video game?
actually I
That-
did know that because I have a friend who is super into Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, StarCraft 1 was supposed to be a Warhammer 40K game, but because Games Workshop, I think that's what they're called, the people
Yeah.
who own it, they did not like the direction that the game was going, so they axed it. And so the creators published it through Blizzard as StarCraft, and we know the rest. StarCraft became like the #1 freaking strategy RPG ever. So Games Workshop really dropped the ball on that.
Oh man, the regret they must feel.
Seriously.
Well, I'm pretty sure they tried to follow that up later with their like what is it like Warhammer
Oh,
Reign of War or something?
yeah, something like that. I played the heck out of that game. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but like it definitely didn't hit anywhere near popularity level of StarCraft.
If the one thing I can say between that and StarCraft, it's a lot slower than StarCraft.
Yeah, a lot slower. It's a lot more around base building. StarCraft's more about like build your base and then get your armies out ASAP.
Oh, dude, I perfected a rush strategy on that Warhammer 40K Dawn of War. It was Dawn of War, yeah.
Dawn of War, there we go.
Yeah. So Mine was I just chose Space Marines. I believe it was the Blood Angel chapter, right? That's the only Space Marine chapter you can choose.
Mm-hmm.
And I developed a strategy where I just pump out scouts and one commander unit and just rush the enemy base. By like 5 to 10 minutes, I would have 2 or 3 scouts, or 1 Marine platoon and a commander, and they can't do anything about that. I haven't met an actual person playing that would also be able to withstand that. And I also love the Eldar. Oh my god, I can go on about this game and this freaking universe. I really want to try playing the tabletop, but I don't have money or time to spend on that.
Yeah, because like it's not like D&D where you can like do paper and pen for everything. You actually have to like go out, get the models, and like get all the stat sheets, buy the books so you have the stat sheets from that. It's a little bit bonkers how much it costs just to get into it.
Yeah, my friend and I, a long time ago in high school, we started trying to get into it, except we got into Warhammer 40k Space Armada, where it was just basically all capital ships, frigates, destroyers, as a tabletop game.
Didn't they also make a game out of that?
They probably did. I never played anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not doubt it. They
Yeah.
monetize everything. That's the true
Yep.
nature of capitalism.
Yep. But the tabletop game, it was so much fun. They had so many like fun options to play around with. Such as if you have a destroyer, you know how all the Imperium of Man destroyers and everything have those like giant spikes in the front and ramming battering ram shields. One of the things you can do in that game is there's an option called ramming speed, where you just put everything to forward thrust and hope you spearhead an enemy. And it's so much freaking fun. Like, I believe one situation was where I had a dreadnought and it got really crippled in a battle against Eldar. It was to the point where its central nuclear core was exposed or breached, so my ship wasn't really going to go anywhere too quickly. So I just did ramming speed to try to get as close as I can, and after it kind of hit, like not too hard, I did the self-destruct option.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's
so
a very
much fun.
Warhammer 40k thing.
It is. It's so. What is it? The term grimdark. Yeah, and the thing about Eldar fleet is that they're really fast, but they're kind of like paper mache. So I don't know. Sorry for getting really into this. I'm kind of geeking out about this, but
it is refreshing to see so much passion.
It's fun. I don't think we'll ever get into it just because of the entry costs into that game, but if we ever do, I think it'll be a real fun time.
True. And if you ever want to get into D&D, you have 2 people here who are dungeon masters.
Yeah, I was actually kind of wondering, do you guys want to start a D&D podcast?
There's too many out there already. Too many out there.
Oh, I think it would be fun. But anyway, that's something else. We're coming up to an hour and 10 minutes. I was wondering if we wanted to talk about something or anything. Last round for talks. Cafe's closing up.
I said Yu-Gi-Oh earlier, and I just want to say rest in peace to Mr. Creator of Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not sure if everyone knows his name, so just want to say that because he was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah, I was never really a Yu-Gi-Oh kid. I was always a Pokemon or Magic the Gathering type kid, but I know that, holy crap, that guy spawned an entire universe and fan following, so to be missed.
True that.
Alright, well, if nothing more, thank you guys for coming in, tuning in, listening to our little cafe sesh. Thank you guys for being here. Wouldn't be a podcast without y'all. And then until next time, I'll see you guys around.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.